Hello, welcome to the Book Talk. My name is Patrick, and today we're discussing a very interesting book, 48 Laws of Power. What do you know about power? Power is often misperceived. People think power is politics, but this book will give you a different perspective on what power is, how you can thrive personally, professionally, and become an individual that will change the world. You can't afford to miss this. Yes, Ben, the first law of power: never outshine your master.
Yeah, there is a reason that law is the first law in the 48 laws of power. I personally resonated a lot with that law because it spoke volumes to me. When I was thinking about that law, I saw how it plays out in not just in my day-to-day life, but also in my professional life. By you not outshining the master simply means making sure that your master or your manager feels good all the time. I think what he was trying to imply is don't call them out in public. Don't make them look ridiculous in board meetings. At least, even if there's some criticism that you feel they should receive, find a way to give it to them in a private place. And people digest criticism differently. Personally, I'm okay.
With the feedback.
Yes, with the feedback.
Yeah.
But most people, especially managers, don't want to be placed in situations that reveal chinks into their armor. So they want to be to stay in that kind of comfort zone. So you have to be careful with your master. Learn what they like. Some may be okay with it, but most people may not be okay with it. And what I liked about this book is that it always has, in most cases, it has reversals. So when he says never outshine the master, he also shows you another side of where outshining the people around you also helps, or even your managers kind of helps. But you have to be careful and learn the dynamics of how your manager is, what they like and what they don't like.
So from the first law, we're not taking you law after law. No. We are bringing to you the most captivating laws, the ones that you will need as soon as now. Law 13. Ben, Law 13 says that when you're seeking people's help, appeal to their interests, not their mercy or gratitude.
I can't agree more. I can't forget how many times I called my friends referring to past events, asking for current favors. I remember I called a friend of mine, I was looking for a favor, and then I go like, hey man, I need this. I remember last month I took you out for a birthday. And then they go like, last month? What month? Do you mean last year? So they have already forgotten that you even took them out on their birthday. They don't even expect you to ask them for a favor based on that
past event.
Exactly, that past event. So with this law is very very captivating, and it's unique because it helped me view negotiations and deals totally differently. So let's say I'm trying to get $10 from you. If I tell you that, Patrick, I need $10 from you, and I really need it. I need to buy this thing. I'm kind of trying to appeal to your mercy or even emotions. It may not work in the same way as when I come and ask you for $10 to the promise that I will pay you $15 the following week. You will definitely give me that money, won't you? So what happens is appealing to people's interests is very key, especially when you're trying to negotiate.
That's right.
But again, I also like the way he gives a reversal to that law. One of the most important things I learned from this book is learning the person you are dealing with. It's very key. So to some people, appealing to their interests really works. To some other people, it doesn't work. I've been in a case where we organized an event and we were supposed to have more than 300 people on ground, and we wanted an embassy to weigh in. So when we were writing to the embassy, we wrote and told them that we are going to have an event and we should have more than 300 people. And within one day, they had already replied.
Because of the audience.
Exactly. So for some people, they don't want you to appeal to their interests. They would actually feel offended if you try to appeal to their interests. They want you to appeal to their mercy, so their way of expressing superiority on you is being in a position to help you rather than you negotiating with them. So especially for wealthy people.
Those that have whatever they want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to learn who you're dealing with. Sometimes appealing to people's interests may be seen as gauche. So some people want you to appeal to their mercy, actually.
So learn to appeal to people's interests, but as you appeal to people's interests, know who you're dealing with. Some people love you that way, others love to be persuaded emotionally or their mercy. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with and don't offend the wrong person. Ben, what do you think?
I remember watching a Steve Harvey show, and he was speaking about this teacher in high school who bullied him, who told him that he couldn't make it on television because he was a shy child. And I remember the same with Oprah. She was speaking about her past experiences and the people who bullied her, and she still recalls all of them plus their names.
Damn.
So what that means is respect everyone, because you don't know who they're going to turn out to be. So and my mentor always told me to don't offend the wrong person. And sometimes you don't know who the wrong person is. So but I believe you shouldn't just respect people because they may turn out to be great. I believe you should respect people because they are just people.
Yes, and that's the point, We should be liberal humanists in a way. We should look at people through the lenses of their potential. And the fact is, I could be dangerous and you do not know, okay? So I also have a feeling that we as human beings project the kind of people that I want people to see. I show you who I want you to see in me. So who you see in me may not be the real person, but who I show you is the person I want you to see.
Yeah, totally.
Very interesting.
Totally.
Okay, so law 41. Avoid stepping into a grey man's shoes. Ben, is it right?
Yeah, it's right to some degree, and I see this applying especially in the political landscape. If you are succeeding a president or a minister and you stepping into that position of power, most chances are you will try to implement the same strategies they implemented in trying to be as great as they were. But what happens is, he had his own challenge and he had his own needs that he was trying to address, and that's why he applied the strategies he applied, and that's why he was great the way he was. So chances are you may not be as great as he was trying to apply the same strategies in a totally different time and different context, and people will always compare you to your predecessor.
Yeah.
So the wise thing sometimes is to kind of come up with new ways of doing things. You bring in your new innovations. You kind of dismantle, not necessarily dismantle, but bring in new ways of doing things, not necessarily destroying whatever they did, but kind of doing it in a totally different way, so that you kind of establish a new identity and people can identify you to this new version, not the other version.
I get the point. It's like sometimes if you're picking up from the person that has been great, the likelihood is you're going to get lost in that person's legacy.
Exactly.
But it can also be great, If I'm picking up, let's say, from a great president and I'm becoming a president or a great manager for a specific company, the likelihood is if he implemented good policies or good programs, then I keep them running.
Yeah.
Then for the success of an organization, of a country, it's worth it,
Yeah, sometimes.
Just need to play it right, know when to bring in your personal goals so that you don't lose to somebody in the system, but rather you also introduce something new, not as you leave a legacy. Okay, I know you don't like politics, but look, you can try to apply this law in your real life. You want to be a class monitor, you want to be a manager of an organization, try to do it in a way that if the predecessor was great, can pick up from that person and do great things as well. Don't allow yourself to get lost in somebody's legacy, because you have potential, you have things you can do for yourself, okay? And we're tending to the end, and we're giving you the last law for today, okay? Not the last law in the book, but the last law for today. Law 47. Do not go beyond the mark you aimed for in victory. Do not go beyond the mark you aimed for in victory. Know when to stop. So Ben, know when to stop in victory.
That's a very tricky one. How do
you even know where to stop?
Exactly. How do you know that you're supposed to stop at a particular point? Plus, victory is sweet, and So many people have gotten drunk on their own success that they even kind of self-sabotage along the process. So what I got from this law is that you're supposed to set goals, achieve them, or even exceed them. After exceeding them, you sit back, reevaluate the whole process, and see where to go, like the next steps. What happens, why he discourages going past the mark you aimed for, when you're setting a goal, you also kind of put in place strategies that will help you achieve that goal. Those strategies apply to the point where you've set your goal, up to the point where you've set your goal. So what happens when you go past that point applying the same strategies, now with bigger ambitions, chances are you may self-sabotage. So what he's advising people is to stop after achieving that goal or even exceeding it, and then reevaluate the whole process and see, now I want to exceed my goal, I want to go past the mark, but now what strategies do I implement so that I don't end up self-sabotaging?
In other words, we should try to have big ambitions, but know where our ambitions should end. In other words, pursue the goal, achieve the goal, re-evaluate, and after you've re-evaluated, continue the big dream, continue pursuing bigger things. You know, the problem with so much success is when you get so high, then the likelihood is higher that you will come and you land on the floor. And if you're now exceeding limits that you didn't prepare for, what it means is you're bound to lose even the little you prepared for. So it's good to dream big. So what is power? People associate power with politics, and that's okay? But you know, power is about being in control of your business, of your personal life, of your careers, of anything that you dream of having. And the Arise Education Bookshop is offering you books that will help you be in control of yourself, of the politics, of anything, of your business, of your companies. Do you want to get a book from the Arise Education Bookshop? It's right opposite the former Key in Kimirongo. Books at affordable prices and very wonderful. Pick yourself a copy, get through all the 48 laws of power, and you'll feel like Robert Greene. Thank you so much.